Harry's wife. We are friends. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. You may have heard me state in the past that Margaret Thatcher, the former Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, explained that power is much like being a lady. If you have to tell people that you are, you invariably aren't. And this is something that's often applicable to certain narcissists, namely those of a mid-range variety, that they have to keep telling you what they believe that they are. They have to keep reinforcing that they're kind, that they're empathic, that they've got lots of friends, that they're really talented, that they're brilliant at certain things, that they're charismatic, well-liked, adored. They have to keep telling you. They may well tell you to your face. They may well do so by getting other people to parade their supposed talents. And, of course, certain narcissists that have access to networks, publicity and money do so repeatedly with puff pieces, parading their own purported brilliance to the rest of the world. This, of course, is part of facade management, which in turn allows the assertion of control and the drawing of fuel from all of those affected by the facade by saying to them, see, I am a nice person. See, I do have lots of friends. We, of course, know that when that individual is a narcissist and that they are mid-range, that this is a facade that they are functioning, that they are operating, that they are advancing, that the individual doesn't really have any genuine friends because the narcissist is incapable of an actual connection with those individuals that is done free of the prime aims. The interaction with those supposed friends is always governed by the prime aims. Those friends have to be controlled. Fuel has to be drawn from them. They may well be in the fuel matrix because of the character traits and residual benefits that can be obtained from them. It is transactional. The narcissist does not have a friendship for the sake of the friendship. The narcissist has a friendship, in inverted commas, because of what it gives the narcissist vis-a-vis the prime aims, in the same way that a narcissist has a relationship with members of the family and has a romantic relationship and a working relationship and a neighbourly relationship. All of those relationships are purely there for the purposes of the prime aims. Harry's wife thinks that lots of people like her and want to be her friend, although, of course, the evidence is to the contrary. Those people that she was involved with many years ago, who have been placed on the shelf and in some instances disengaged from, would no longer regard themselves as friends. Not as a consequence of what they've done, but as a consequence of her behaviour towards them. Harry's wife thinks that because she's interesting, fun, charismatic, that the A-list want to be friends with her. The evidence shows to the contrary. They are not interested and indeed have distanced themselves. So she goes scurrying around, trying to collect friends wherever she can. And because of her deluded magical thinking, which I've explained previously, when she meets somebody, she invariably thinks that within a matter of moments that they're BFFs, that they and her are now absolute friends for the rest of their lives, of course, with the narcissist conditional asterisk applicable, but she's not thinking about that. She thinks that within moments of meeting you, that you're going to be lifelong buddies, that she understands you, that we're so alike, we've so much in common. In the same way that she thinks that all men that meet her want to shag her, she thinks that all people that she has a passing acquaintance with are suddenly her really good friends. Serena Williams, for instance, appears to have almost been railroaded into a form of friendship. But I should imagine if one was to speak to her privately, she would say, no, I don't know her at all, really. And I wouldn't consider her a close friend. Harry's wife does. She believes that Serena is a close friend of hers. Take, for example, the Clooneys. Harry's wife believes she's friends with them. Sure, they came to the wedding, but they said they didn't know her, and they still don't. But she believes that they're close personal friends, because that's what her deluded narcissism causes her to do in order to attach them to her and clamp onto them, to utilise them for the prime aims. We know, of course, that Harry's wife has utilised Gloria Steinem, the feminist, for this purpose. Character trait acquisition, mirroring her, as we saw in the god-awful interview that she did a little while ago, and, of course, thereafter, parading her around to say, look, I'm friends with Gloria Steinem. This gives me credibility. Told you I'm a feminist, and she's friends with me, and therefore you're all wrong, and I'm wonderful. And, of course, as a consequence of the repeated threats to control that Harry's wife experiences arising from the fact that actually very few people like her at all, and more people are becoming more vocal in their dislike of her, it is necessary for her to once again go down that route of the PR puff piece, and it falls to people.com in an article from Bailey Richards which tells us, Gloria Steinem, on her friendship with Harry's wife, she is different from the picture of her in the media. No, she's not. In actual fact, her behaviours will be far worse, but they are kept hidden. How do we know this? She's a mid-range narcissist, and therefore she portrays a particular view to the world, but we've seen repeated cracks in it because her facade management isn't up to the job, given the repeated stresses it has by way of those threats to control, by being world infamous. And therefore we know that her behaviours behind closed doors, based upon my work, is actually far worse than that which is seen by the world. We know, for instance, of the allegations of bullying against palace staff. You know from the evidence that I've given you about the sustained devaluation towards Prince Harry. You know about the allegations that Catherine, Princess of Wales, made about being made to cry by the horrible and harsh behaviour of Harry's wife. Yet, of course, just like Tyler Perry, who's been roped into keep telling everybody, oh, she's wonderful, Gloria Steinem has also been forced to swallow the Kool-Aid in this regard also, and it's paraded in people.com. The article tells us, Harry's wife and Gloria Steinem's friendship is still going strong. Do you ever announce to the world that your friendship with another person is going strong? You don't. Why? You don't need to. First of all, you recognise that the world isn't interested. Boundary recognition. 2, your friendship is between you and your friend. It's not there for the consumption of the world. Boundary recognition. Emotional empathy. Absence of sense of entitlement. You don't feel a need to tell everybody in order to maintain those appearances because you're content in your own knowledge that the friendship is a good one. But with Harry's wife, her narcissism screams at her. You need to tell everybody that you're friends with Gloria Steinem and that the friendship is still going strong. We need to maintain that facade. The article continues. At the Women's Media Centre's 2022 Women's Media Awards last week, Steinem, a co-founder of the organisation, opened up about her relationship with the Duchess of Sussex. When asked about why she partnered up with Harry's wife for a candid conversation about reproductive rights in Vogue earlier this year, a conversation where Harry's wife just mirrored Steinem, Steinem had nothing but kind words for her friend, whom she called a great human being. Well, Steinem's hardly likely to go upon lambasting her in public. I'm not an expert on the media, but it seems to me that she is different from the picture of her in the media. The feminist activist tells people she's smart and funny and devoted to social issues. Well, she's not smart, she lacks a sense of humour, and she creates the appearance of devotion to social issues. Maybe it's the British tabloids that are a problem, Steinem adds with a laugh. The pair's conversation earlier this year wasn't the first time that they teamed up. Harry's wife, 41, and Steinem, 88, joined forces 2 years ago to have a backyard chat about the importance of voting. This doesn't appear to me to be a friendship, but it's occasional conversations that have taken place. But of course, Harry's wife would regard this as a friendship. For a while, we were living almost what in California counts as next door, which is like 45 minutes away, Steinem said, so we got to know each other. During their chat in 2020, Steinem gifted the Duchess with a bracelet that reads, "We are linked, not ranked." Upon receiving it, Harry's wife said that the phrase means everything to me on every level, more meaningless word salad, and it continues to hold great significance to the feminist icon. I think we, as human beings, or maybe living things on planet Earth, right, are linked, not ranked, Steinem tells people. We have systems of race and gender and class that rank us, and that's actually not accurate. Later that year, the Duchess of Sussex came over to the little farmhouse where Steinem was staying, and they cold-called voters together from her dining room table. Again, this was posted on Instagram, demonstrating the necessity of demonstrating this was going on. Why not just get on with it and not tell anybody about it? When asked whether she and Harry's wife will team up again, Steinem says that she will help the Duchess of Sussex with any of her projects, if she can, especially as she and her husband are doing media projects. Seems to me that Gloria Steinem clearly recognises that she's only going to do it because it would also help her. As I've mentioned before, the only people really who have any continuing engagement with Harry's wife are either those who are blindly deluded, failing to see what she is, or those that are actually invested in her in some way to their own benefit, and the latter is applicable to Steinem here. However, the necessity of putting this in people.com and heralding the friendship is demonstrative again of the PR machine trying to demonstrate that Harry's wife has friends, when of course we all know that she does not. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.